Now many nations are assembled against you, saying, let her be profaned, and let our eyes gaze upon Zion. But they do not know the thoughts of Yahuwah. They do not understand his plan, that he has gathered them as sheaves to the threshing floor. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion, for I will make your horn iron and your hooves bronze. You shall beat in pieces many people, and you shall devote their gain to Yahuwah, and the wealth of Yahuwah, the whole earth. Now you are walled about with a wall. Siege is laid against us, and with rod they strike upon the cheek the ruler of Israel. But you, O Bethlehem, Ephrathah, who are little to be among the clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to be ruler in Israel, whose origin is from old, from ancient days. Therefore he shall give them up until the time, and she who is in travail has brought forth. Then the rest of his brethren shall return to the people of Israel. And he shall stand and feed his flock in the strength of Yahuwah, in the majesty of the name of Yahuwah his Elohim. And they shall dwell secure for now, and he shall be great to the ends of the earth. And this shall be peace when the Assyrian come into our land and tread upon our soil, that we will raise against him 7 shepherds and 8 princes of men, and they shall rule the land of Assyria with a sword, and the land of Nimrod with a drawn sword, and they shall deliver us from the Assyrian when he comes into our land and treads within our border. Then the remnant of Yaakov shall be in the midst of many people, like dew from Yahuwah, like showers upon the grass, which tarry not for men, nor wait for the sons of men. And the remnant of Yaakov shall be among the nations, in the midst of many peoples, like a lion amongst the beasts of the forest, like a young lion amongst the flocks of sheep, which when it goes through, treads down and tears in pieces, and there is none to deliver. Your hand shall be lifted up over your adversaries, and all your enemies shall be cut off. And in that day, says Yahuwah, I will cut off your horses from amongst you, and I will destroy your chariots, and I will cut off the cities of your land, and throw down all your strongholds. And I will cut off sorceries from your hand, and you shall have no more soothsayers. And I will cut off your images and your pillars from among you, and you shall bow down no more to the work of your hands. And I will root out your Asherim from amongst you, and destroy your cities. And in anger and in wrath I will execute vengeance upon the nations that did not obey. Hear what Yahuwah says. Arise, plead your case before the mountains, and let the hills hear your voice. Hear, you mountains, the controversy of Yahuwah, and you enduring foundations of the earth. For Yahuwah has a controversy with his people, and he will contend with Israel. O my people, what have I done to you? And what have I wearied you? Answer me, for I brought you up from the land of Mizraim, and redeemed you from the house of bondage. And I sent you before Moshe, Aaron, and Miriam. O my people, remember what Balak king of Moab devised, and what Balaam the son of Beor answered him, and what happened from Shittim to Gilgal, and you may know the saving acts of Yahuwah. With what shall I come before Yahuwah, and bow myself before Elohim on high? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves a year old? Will Yahuwah be pleased with thousands of rams, with 10,000s of rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has showed you, O man, what is good, and what does Yahuwah require of you, but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your Elohim. The voice of Yahuwah cries to the city, and it is sound wisdom to fear thy name. Hear, O tribe of an assembly of the city. Can I forget the treasures of wickedness, and the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is accursed? Shall I acquit the man with wicked scales, and with a bag of deceitful weights? Your rich men are full of violence, and your inhabitants speak lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Therefore I have begun to smite you, making you desolate because of your sins. You shall eat, but not be satisfied, and there shall be hunger in your inward parts. You shall put away, but not save, and what you save I will give to the sword. You shall sow, but not reap, and you shall tread olives, but not anoint yourselves with oil. You shall tread grapes, but not drink wine, for you have kept the statutes of Omri and all the works of the house of Ahib, and you have walked in their counsels, that I may make you a desolation and your inhabitants a hissing, so you shall bear the scorn of the peoples. Woe is me, for I have become as when the summer fruit has been gathered, as when the vintage has been gleaned. There is no cluster to eat, no first ripe fig which my soul desires. The godly man has perished from the earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood, and each hunts his brother with a net. Their hands are upon what is evil, to do it diligently. The prince and the judge ask for a bribe, and the great man utters evil desires of his soul. Thus they weave it together. The best of them is like a briar, the most upright of them a thorn hedge. The day of their watchmen of their punishment has come. Now their confusion is at hand. Put no trust in a neighbor. Have no confidence in a friend. Guard the door of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. For the son treads the father with contempt. The daughter rises up against her mother. The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. But as for me, I will look to Yahuwah. I will wait for the Elohim of my salvation. My Elohim will hear me. Rejoice not over me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall rise. When I sit in darkness, Yahuwah will be a light to me. I will bear the indignation of Yahuwah, because I have sinned against him, until he pleads my cause and executes judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light. I shall behold his deliverance. Then my enemy will see, and shame will cover her who said to me, where is Yahuwah your Elohim? My eyes will gloat over her, and now she will be trodden down like the mire of the streets. A day for the building of your walls. In that day the boundary shall be far extended, and in that day they will come to you from Assyria to Mizraim, and from Mizraim to the river, from the sea to sea, and from mountain to mountain. But the earth will be desolate because of its inhabitants, for the fruit of their doings. Shepherd thy people with the staff, the flock of thy inheritance, who dwell alone in the forest, in the midst of a garden land. Let them feed in Bashan and Gilead, as in the days of old. As in the days when you came out of the land of Mizraim, I will show them marvelous things. And the nations shall see and be ashamed of all their might, and they shall lay their hands on their mouths, and their ears shall be deaf. They shall lick the dust like serpent, like the crawling things of the earth. They shall come trembling out of their strongholds, and they shall turn in dread to Yahuwah our Elohim, and they shall fear because of him. Who is Yahuwah like you, pardoning iniquity and passing over transgression for the remnant of his inheritance? He does not retain his anger forever, because he delights in steadfast love. He will again have compassion upon us. He will tread our iniquities underfoot. You will cast all